Okay, so this is a legal pleading AI response agent. Basically, what's happening here is when somebody adds a case file to a Google Drive, it's going to include details from that case. It could be other pleadings, and what this is doing is downloading the files that were added in that Google Drive folder, uploading it to an AWS S3 bucket, and then it starts what's called an OCR extraction. So it's extracting all the text data from that document using AWS Textract. So it's an AWS Textract solution in AWS Lambda. And then it uses AI to properly organize the folders and an AI agent to do the same so that we can just properly organize it in the Google Drive so it's more dynamic. And then from there it goes on to the next step. So the assumption here is what we're trying to do is extract all this data, and then we want to be able to take the data that's there and then create the most recent response or the most recent pleading that will go back to court. So the next part is to read the complaint, right? Of course, this is to gain context. So it downloads that file and extracts the text from it, and then it goes ahead, and what we're doing here is we're using OpenAI agents. And as I open one of these up, you'll see that I have an assistant that I have created in the OpenAI API that is defined in OpenAI. So this is a civil litigator and motion to dismiss analyst. And then this is the user prompt that we are adding here. And basically the design really is to, there's a lot of steps here, but what we're trying to do is extract as much detail as possible while maintaining the context of the AI agent. So how we're doing this is we're basically extracting all this data and then parsing it as JSON so that it's machine readable. So that really helps the context. So right now, throughout this process, it will not really be readable by a human. Maybe a developer or someone technical can read it like I can, but it really needs to aggregate all the data at the end. So what this is doing again is reading the complaint and getting context there. Then it's going to read the motion to dismiss, which may or may not exist. And it's going to extract the data again from that, and then analyze the data from that, put it into a JSON file, and then again it's going to move on to the next step. So now that we have context from the complaint and the motion to dismiss, we need some case law to sort of start backing up what our response should be. So we're starting to look into cases that are similar here. So it's going to create a case summary report of everything that we should be looking out for. What have we read so far? What's the context so far on this case? And then it's going to send all this data again as a JSON to an AI agent. And this is using OpenAI and Court Listener, which is a free law project product, and it's open source. So we're able to log into that. And then what happens is it spits out a few cases that are relevant to the response that we want to give. And then here it's going to summarize that legal response. So first we were generating all this JSON to get context on where we currently are in the case. And then basically once we get the case law, we're starting to now generate our very own response from that. And then finally here it's going to draft a formal reply. What this is doing is it's aggregating all the sections of the legal pleading, and then responding with the proper formatting that's needed to look like a normal legal pleading.